Mark, Kenny Miller, new contract, how big a boost is that?
Really important. That's a playing contract as well. He's earned that. He's doing some great work with our 20s. He's doing his A licence onto his pro licence, working hard to get his badges and qualifications. But he's earned this as a player. And from the first day of pre-season, he's been outstanding. Every day in training, outstanding. The young loan players go back to their parent clubs and talk about the application shown and displayed by Kenny Miller. So he fully justified the contract.
Is it not just all what he does on the field, but elsewhere, like you're saying, he's now into the coaching, the influence he has on the younger ones?
We have a young squad, that's very clear, very young squad. The names I mentioned, the likes of Gideon at 18, Nathan 19, Dom at 20, Brad Mackay at 20, Jordan Thompson, Fraser Ed, but all these names, you need to have leadership and seniority and that mentoring role. And the likes of Kenny, Dean Shields, Lee Wallace have a hugely important role to play in the squad. So delighted with his contribution. He has a big role to play going forward, there's no doubt about that, but he's earned the contract.
Fair to say he's a sprightly, nearly 36-year-old as well. In terms of
every day in training, every day, the way he applies himself, the level, the quality he shows day in, day out, he's first class, and he sets a level, he sets a standard. So age is relevant. It's about the application that you show and the work ethic that you show, and Kenny every single day is outstanding.
How much coaching will he do then in terms of the next year?
This is a playing contract. What Kenny does in his spare time is work with the 20s and travels to those games. So all credit to him. His time management is really good. But you have to apply yourself and you have to make that choice. You have to commit yourself to a certain path. And first and foremost, that is purely a playing contract that he has earned, and it's a playing role for us. And then on top of that, he's adding extra value. Is fantastic.
Do you see him having the mental strength and capabilities to go and have a career in coaching?
Absolutely. He great game knowledge, subject knowledge. He's obviously played at the very highest level. He has good ideas about the game. He has firm views about the game, but he embraces new ideas as well. So he's very receptive to different concepts. So I've got no doubt that Kenny can go on to be an outstanding coach, manager, whatever he chooses to do.
How long do you think he's got left as a player then?
I watch him every day in training. There's another 2 or 3 years left at least in the tank for Kenny Miller. There's no doubt about that. That'll be down to Kenny. He looks fit. He keeps himself fit and well. Works well with the medical team and conditioning boys here at the club, who again look after him very well indeed. So we have all the right pieces of the pie. We're in good shape. Kenny's in very good shape, and hopefully that's continued.
You've only worked him a short period, but do you think he's had to change his game? The older he gets, perhaps slowing down a bit in terms of pace, things like that?
I think we as a team play the game at a high intensity. Kenny's, you'd have seen the way we've used Kenny, starting a number of games, coming as sub and having the impact. It's about making sure the players can make the contribution. And Kenny, it's about using him wisely. He has that knowledge and experience. Each game differs, but I've no doubt going forward as well, he has the fitness, he has the quality, the experience to make a real contribution for us.
What did you make of the game at Easter Road the other night?
The other night, it was just us. We were playing Livingston. It gave us a good look to see the opponents and what they do and how they play. We played them obviously 2 or 3 times already, but it's always good to see it, recently. And it was an interesting game.
You've got a game in hand, but Hibs are now just 2 points behind you. Is there any concern there for you?
You can tell the worried look on my face at the moment. I mean that sarcastic there, but we've got a game in hand. We've got a game in hand. We win our game in hand. We're 5 points clear. We've lost 1 game of football all season, so it's not about Hibs. It's not about Falkirk. It's about Rangers. From my point of view, all we can do is go out there and try and win every game that we play, and if we do that, we'll be in good shape. And if we slip up, other teams may come to the party, so to speak. But right now, it's about us delivering a level of consistency if we can and getting the right result. So we're very respectful of all the other teams, and Hibs have put a tremendous run together. All credit to them. It's about us right now and doing what we do best, hopefully.
A lot's been made of the relationship between you and Alan Stubbs. Alan Stubbs says it's an entertainment business. Is that how do you see it?
Yeah, it's just tongue in cheek. There's no problem with Alan. We shared a drink after the last game with the staff, and we get on well, and we talk about the game and various aspects of it. It's the media, as you can imagine.
Do you think this would happen? Whoever it was first and second in the league?
Yeah, it's about rivalry, isn't it? It's about making headlines and getting excitement, and that's great. It's competition. It's a competitive world that we work in, day out. So it's about creating these rivalries. But we respect all the teams. There's no easy games in the league, that's for sure. If you don't prepare well, you pay the price, as we say, week in, week out. So our focus this week is Livingston, hence our visit on Tuesday. But we're very respectful of all the teams.
Does it add to all the excitement of the title race when there are these things going on?
Yeah, you want. I mean, we had a big gap at the start. We started very strongly. Other teams didn't start as strong as Rangers. And people are saying that Rangers are faltering. We're not faltering. Other teams are closing the gap because they're winning games of football. But all we can do now is put our head down, focus on Rangers and keep winning games. That's what we have to do. And if we make mistakes, it's not worthwhile. Someone asked me about the game on the 20th of December. That's irrelevant. If you lose 2 or 3 games in the meantime, it doesn't matter. Our only focus has to be one game at a time. So everything is geared towards Saturday, Livingston, good performance, and we move on from there.
But does that keep everyone on their toes at least?
Yeah, but I hope so. It has to be that way. It has to be that way, that the squad is we're hungry, the squad is hungry, the fans are behind us, they've been outstanding, and we've got to maintain a level of consistency which excites them. We want our fans to be there home and away. They have been all season, first class, and our job, our responsibility is to make sure we continue our level of performance.
Just going back to Kenny Miller, he doesn't have to look too far for inspiration of somebody that played into their 40s, does he, with Davy Weir there? Has he been helping him and how to manage his body?
Well, he has, and all the players should look at David Weir. You know, he came here as a short-term fix, I think it was described as, and 5 years later, the UEFA Cup final. So I think David Weir's a shining example of how to look after yourself and how to train and prepare every day. He still does. 40 or plus years of age, he's still doing the right things and looking, and that should be a message to all the young players. 18-year-old Geddy and 19-year-old Nathan, extend your career by taking good care of your body, and everything is here for them to do that.
Kenny might not be playing as much every week or scoring as many goals, but do you think he's adding more when he does come on?
He does. He adds experience. He has good pitch geography, good movement, good timing. He encourages, cajoles. He has a really important role to play, as do all the senior players. Dean Shields does exactly the same. But Kenny's been first class at that. So we've used Kenny nearly every game, as you see, whether start or an impact as a sub. Our job, myself and David, is to use him wisely because he has got that experience and quality that we rely on.
And is that something you think you'll need if you get promoted?
I think absolutely. You need to have people who have played, not loads, you need 2 or 3 senior players and to have that knowledge and experience. I think if we go up, hopefully we go up, he'll provide a big part of that for us.
I think you've still got a handful of guys out of contract at the end of the season. Will their futures depend on what you can do in January in terms of bringing new guys in?
No, it's about them. It's not about January for them. It's about them. They know that, and we talk to players all the time. People like Cammy, for example, have been injured, and Nicky Law at the moment injured, but other players are working tirelessly, and their challenge is to be the best they can be to earn that contract. Our job is to give them the opportunity to do so. You don't want to play knock on your door in March and say, I haven't played all season. That's not a fair situation. So our job is to work together with the players, and we talk to them all the time, and that you have to earn something. You have to earn a contract. They know that. It's a professional world. It's a harsh world. They know what they have to do, and we'll give them every chance to do that.
You've obviously spoken previously about maybe bringing 1 or 2 in January. Do people have to leave for that to happen? They can be supplementary to what you've already done?
No, I think as you enter that February-March period of the season, you get the injuries, the suspensions, the heavier pitches, etc. So I think you need to add 1 or 2 to your squad. Just 1 or 2. The unity is good, the harmony is good, the balance is good. Add 1 or 2 to make sure you have cover in key areas, because you will invariably have the injury or the suspension that we referred to. So it's just adding a bit more depth to the squad, but nothing too major.
Mark, another name linked with Rangers, it seems weekly. Tom Bradshaw of Walsall, anything in that?
I had 5 calls yesterday about Tom Bradshaw. I think Frank McParland, our chief scout or head of recruitment, went to watch them play, and from that they just take 2 and 2 makes 5. But no, there's no truth in that.
Is he a player you know, or
we know the player? He's a very talented player. There's a number of players in the league playing there, and he's one of them. But we know him very well. But Frank was just watching the game.
John Eustace, is there any more update?
John's, as I say, John's got a domestic that he's working on at the moment. It's away from football. It's a family situation he has to deal with, and we wish John that well in that respect. Team news, all fit and well. Trained this morning, boys are back for international duty, touch wood, all fit and well. So the Ryan Hardys and Fraser Reds and Geddians and whoever else came back, so we had a few of them come back. They've travelled, lots of Fraser and Geddian had long trips, El Salvador and Brazil. So they're back, they're recovering, but they're in good shape.